Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon to my friends in Europe. This is Mark Sebastian, your only option. Welcome to the Ticker Highlight Show. I am joined by one queen of the candles coming to you from my home state our home state of Texas. Leisha J. Leslie, queen of the candles. And of course, everyone's favorite Mainer, Andrew T. Giovinazzi, the Viking of volatility. Good to see you, Andrew. How you doing?
Doing good.
So today, this is the Ticker Highlight Show. In this show, we're going to break down one stock. We're going to look at the fundamentals. We're going to look at the technicals, and we're going to look at the volatility and see if we can come up with a trade. Reminder, we're here every Monday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 Central. That's 7:30 a.m. Pacific Time. And we are, excited to be here with the election happening and now over. There were a lot of stocks that were riding on this election. But I think no stock was more tied to the election in terms of the outcome of the election than Trump, media, and social. That is ticker symbol DJT. DJT is more of it's in that idea phase of the company, if you will. They have about 2 to 3 million active users. The main draw is that it is the only way to get in real time the president-elect of the United States of America, the soon-to-be and formerly most powerful man in the world's tweets or social posts in real time. There is a value there, and beyond that, though, when I look at the numbers, fundamentally, it's a $7 billion stock. They do have plenty. They've got plenty of cash, but there aren't a lot of sales. There's not a lot of any. There's not a lot to it beyond just the fact that this is an idea that is that does have a user base, but nothing that would equate a $7 billion valuation. And so the question is, now that Donald Trump has won, now what? And I think we saw that because what is incredible in the name, and I know we're going to talk about this, the implied volatility long term prior to the election was 30 days out was over 300. It now stands at about 190. And going to the election, they had priced this it was about right here prior to the election. And they had priced a $20 move. It's exactly where it started. So I think a lot of people are looking at this and trying to figure out what is next for DJT. And my thoughts are that they have to merge with somebody. People have thrown out Twitter. The issue, or X, the issue there is that it's a $7 billion company that, without the name DJT attached to it, would be worth, based on its metrics, less than $1 billion. But having in real time 4 years of the most powerful man in the world's social media posts is worth a lot. It's worth something. So maybe the question is, right, Elon is now heavily involved with the DJT administration. The owner of X paid $44 billion for an asset worth about now maybe 30. Does Elon want to pay $7 billion for a company with an even worse metrics? And the answer is likely no. It's and there might even be some weird antitrust or conflict of interest issues there. Other thoughts? Hey, I'm looking to get into the good graces, maybe a Meta with their Threads that has failed to get off the ground. Threads had this immediate push and has since seen its daily active users die. What's a way to get Threads back up and moving and competing with X? How about I get the leader of the free world? How about I get first crack at his tweets? And Meta's not exactly popular with this administration. Might be a good way to get under their good graces. Microsoft has LinkedIn, maybe a fit there, maybe not. Google, probably enemy number one. That would make that would probably plug the final hole of their profile, right? They have search, they have email, they have video. They don't really have an effective social, unless you want to call their YouTube community social or YouTube Shorts a social. Maybe Google. But I would imagine that as things settle in, DJT is not going to crash lower, but the realization of how this thing is going to monetize probably puts it slowly dropping toward a more reasonable valuation. I would imagine a scenario where this gets a take under or a bought out for about here, not a huge premium. Combination of the president wanting this off of his hands, the what next or what now with this company, because truly I'm thinking about what are the next steps for this company, and I'm having trouble thinking of it. So I I don't see an ugly drop here, but what I do see is a potential slow slide as interest starts to wane in the company. And then once it hits a more reasonable valuation, a buyout or essentially a takeout, maybe somewhere in the between $4 and $5 billion. That'd be a level that I think would be palpable to a name like a Meta, where again their Threads kind of struggling. This might actually be able to breathe life. Now, it would infuriate Elon Musk, so I don't know if that would happen. But I'm trying to do the puzzle pieces, and I'm just not sure. My guess is that Meta doesn't happen. I don't think X happens unless they kind of merge them together and then IPO at some ridiculous level. So my best guess is that there's some sort of, Google steps in to try and get back in the good graces, and we have True Social is now Alphabet Social, and DJT agrees to tweet on the platform, and there's a $5-6 billion valuation. But that's kind of what I see there. I would love your ideas, but I don't see the one of our listeners said, he could just drive traffic. Again, I think you're gonna the people that need to see Trump's tweets in real time are mostly there. You've got world leaders that are going to join on there and international media, but he tweets something on True Social, and then 14 seconds later it's on X. How many people need those 14 seconds? How many people need those 14 seconds?
The big banks.
The big banks, right? And they're already on it. So I'm just not sure where the growth driver is here, and that's the issue. So I think it makes sense for them to merge with somebody, but I'm not sure. So there you have it, folks. This one is a bit of a conundrum, but it is certainly an interesting stock. But my take again is that there will be a slow kind of grinding decline here, not to zero. It's not a worthless company, but maybe back toward the $20-$25 range, and then they find some sort of deal. The stock actually needs to drop for them to be bought, because $7 billion for this with the user base they have. When you look at a name like Reddit, which we did last week, which has approximately 500 million times the users and is currently worth only about 2x, you've got a valuation issue there. So there is my take on the metrics there. Alicia, what do you see in the chart?
I will show you. DJT follows the pitchfork pretty well, besides a little, bursts below the support level there. It's held the resistance up here at its high. Had a beautiful hanging man there, indicating that change in trend, and sure enough, traded down, paused at our median line. First of all, blew through the median line. And remember, when it blows through, it comes back to visit it almost always. Right there, that was your chance to go short there. Held support down here, bounced. Only here, huge reversal without any real warning. Well, this candle was a reversal, then gap lower, but it held that support. And I'm going to call support those lows right there, 27.58 will be our support level, a little bit below our pitchfork line. Now, today it just closed that gap. So we need to watch what happens now. Sometimes it closes a gap and continues in the same direction, which would be down here below these lows. Our support comes in at 16.25. This could become bullish engulfing, and we trade higher. Now that we've closed the gap, the resistance will be up here at the median line, 40.65. A lot of room in there, lot of room for movement. Thus, in the way it moves, the implied vol, right, Andrew? The implied vol's pretty crazy. Over here, we have resistance at the 21 and 200 day, which are just a little bit higher here, 30.
I think we lost her.
I thought it was me, because Comcast has been in and out for me all day.
No, we lost her. So, but you can see, basically, she said it's in kind of a wait and see spot, folks. Yeah, we got you back. All right. Hi, Alicia.
Hi. So did you hear any of that?
We
caught almost all of it, just the very end.
I didn't hear you.
We saw all of it except for the very end.
Oh,
When
I was just saying, did you see moving averages, 34 and a half,
that was the only part we
35?
missed. That was the only part we missed.
Just above here, the 21 days at 34 and a half, the 200s at 35. You may need to clear that to trade higher. As I said, this is a big range. The stock trades in huge ranges. Therefore, we have this enormous implied volatility, which I will hand to you, Andrew.
So there you can see it's kind of in. Go to the 6-month chart. There we go.
Let me do a little
stuck right in between
share here.
It's kind of stuck right in between the 21 and the 100, right? So it's in a really weird spot, because its long-term averages are a lot lower. So it's an interesting one. All right, I will stop sharing, and now I will pass things off to the Viking of Volatility, otherwise known as the Vicar of the VIX.
So,
Andrew T.
So I was looking at a couple of things. I think short term is probably hard for this one. overall, I would say, just because like you're looking at this, and Leisha, I know you're like, it kind of feels like some of the euphoria is fading somewhat. It's not making those higher highs anymore. Um, from a volatility for like 90-day volatility is still like 140%. So like on average, the stock is moving what? Almost 10% a day, basically, probably 8% a day, like every day for the last 90 days. So, um, so from a volatility, point of view, you're looking farther out here in this December. Like it actually looks to me like a little expensive. And I was trying to price, okay, like an iron condor thing. Like it's a hard one because my nose tells me you want to sell some juice in this. Um, it's just, really how in a way that we could do it, relatively easily. My thought is it kind of pulls back a little bit. I would just set this up as a margin trade. You could buy, let's see here. We're trading 32. Like I think you could do like the 30-24 for 50 cents, like a 1x2 spread. That would put you in around $18 on the downside. And I think it just kind of rolls down there over the short term. That's how I would trade that. So if you want to create a butterfly out of it for margin, you go buy some like 16 put for 25 cents. So I would set it up in that way. I'm not like clearly the market likes the new administration. Bitcoin likes the new administration. But like at this valuation, I think Mark's take is really good. It's like, okay, now the election's won. What's the game for Trump media? And how does that get spun out? So, but you just have to look at some of the other names, like like the PayPal's, Square, Bitcoin, what MNSTR, all those Bitcoin are like going crazy. So this could easily anyway. So my point is, I would still do a trade that kind of leans long, just not hard long. So like some kind of Brooklyn butterfly, in short. So it would be like, I'm going to price it right now. Give me 1 second. And I will write it up for everybody because I know that's what they want to see. The margin on it will probably be a couple $100 per one lot. So here, I would set it up like this. So I would buy to open one DJT, and I'll explain this here. November 29, again, right around Thanksgiving holiday week. Again, volatility compression week. I would set up so we're trading 33. I would start with the 30, sell the 24, straddles $10. So kind of get it pressed down $10. Again, seems reasonable to me. I think that will start to decline somewhat. So if we go 4 over $1.50, so this is going to cost about $1.50. So I'm going to buy the 30 puts. I'm going to sell the 24 puts, and that's 6 and 6 is 18, and then I'll buy the 16 puts. For margin control if you need to. I'm just going to do the 1x2. I'm not going to bother buying the bottom contract. I would buy the Trump stock for 18 for kicks. I think we'd be able to ride it and do it. It wouldn't bother me. I think it'll make a rise from the dead somehow. Put broken wing butterfly. So that's how I would do it. Butterfly. If I could spell, so that would be long a 30 put, short to 424 puts, and then it would be long a 16 put. And I'm going to give you a price on that right now here.
And if you want to go a little simpler, you would just buy a 30 put and sell the 24 put if you don't want to go crazy.
Yeah, if you want to just buy a cheap
A
put
very
spread.
simple trade would be to buy the 30 puts for $4 and sell the 24 puts at $1.60. So you'd be paying $2.40 for a 6-point vertical. That would be the simple. This one is one of those where the implied volatility is so high, you have to spread it, because it's almost impossible to make money just straight owning options.
Now, I would say that this is definitely a short delta play. This one is a more flat delta play. So just,
Yes.
And that, let me see here. So again, I'm picking number again from the holiday point of view. So if I'm going for, let me see here. Let's see. So I go 30 spread 30, 24. All right. I'm seeing 78 mid. I'm going to buy a 16 put for maybe 50 cents. So I'm going to bid 125 for it or 130 and see what happens.
Okay.
And that would be my, my broken wing fly there. $200 of risk there total. Wow, $1.30 fills instantly.
Yeah.
Just FYI. So kind of a cheap little shot.
And for those of you keeping score on Reddit, it's up like 150% since last week. So that was a good idea by us.
Oh, the Reddit was crazy. I'm doing more. I'm looking at that stock more. I'm like, wow, this has like some serious legs. This stock.
Yeah, it does.
I knew that it was big. I had no idea. But I look at this like a stock like Reddit. There's no love lost for Google because they've definitely used their position to push people around.
Yeah.
I could see people, I don't know. There could be competition for Google down the road because they're not making any friends. Just saying.
No, Reddit is an interesting one. And that's why I like it. Full disclosure, still long it in a bunch of different places. All right, everybody. There you have it. You've got two ideas, one complex and one relatively simple. And we will be back next week at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, as we are every week, with one's ticker and our full breakdown of it. So for one, Andrew T. Giovinazzi, the Viking of Volatility, and Leisha J. Leslie, Queen of the Candles, Duchess of the Doji. I am Mark Sebastian, your only option. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trading week. Have a good one.